On this episode of Simply Cooking by MmmChef, I'm joined by my friend Sia from New Grocery. Do you want to see what we're making for our No Waste Friendsgiving? Stay tuned to find out. Sia and I from New Grocery are throwing a No Waste Friendsgiving, and we are using so many beautiful local harvest time ingredients that she's been so kind to bring from her store. Sia is co-owner of New Grocery, which is Ottawa's first and only zero waste grocery store. We've been friends for 8 years, and Sia and I met at the very first like women's show, small business show that I ever did in 2017, right when I was starting my business and going on my own. And she's been, well, New Grocery has been one of my greatest supporters. You guys, if you've seen my show before, you've definitely seen this apron and you've seen them. So welcome, Sia. Thank you for coming, and it's such a joy having you. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're doing.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure, and I know we've been following all the seasons, and now we actually get to
do it together.
Cook together.
Yeah, no, it's so fun, so fun.
So today I'm making a peach apricot crisp.
Awesome.
And it's all from the local Warner's Farm in Niagara.
Cool.
I love the season because we get their peaches, apricots, plums, grapes.
Yeah, peaches are like my favorite fruit for sure, and Niagara peaches are just next level.
The best.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
Yes, and I love that we can get, grapes from them. And
absolutely.
It's unpackaged. But I'm just mixing them up with some, unpackaged bulk.
Of course, and she's using this beautiful tiffin box that they sell at the store, which is oven safe too, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna bake it right in there.
When you're camping, you can put it on the fire. You can bake in it, so it's so versatile and just durable.
I love it.
So I'm gonna layer some peaches
on the bottom. So no mixing. We're just gonna do it kind of in different layers.
I love layering. I think it turns out really, really
So no
cute.
waste food, no waste dirty dishes either.
Yes, because this is excellent, because once it's cooked and then you enjoyed some of it, if you have leftovers, you just cover with a lid.
I love it. So you could do that like with a Pyrex container or like a reusable container that has a lid that can go in the oven, and then you don't have to use 7 different dishes to make your dessert.
Exactly, and there are different sizes. I like the deep dish style.
Love it.
So that's what I'm using today.
Okay, so while she does that, I'll tell you guys what we are planning to make today and what we are serving at our Friendsgiving. So Sia's working on the dessert there, which is the peach crisp or apricot peach crisp, and later we'll tell you crisp, cobbler, why. And then I'm going to work on some stuffing. And right now in our oven, we have a whole local chicken that I got from a farmer's market, and I cooked it before the show started so that it could be ready for us. When we pull that out of the oven, we'll be putting all of the other things in there. I mean, just like Rachel Ray says, sometimes I wish smell-o-vision was a real thing so that you guys could smell all the delicious aromas coming out of the kitchen. I'm working on sauteing some onion, celery, and carrot for my stuffing. We love to kind of mirror flavors. So the ingredients in my stuffings are similar to Sia's ingredients for roasted vegetables, which is also what we're going to work on after the crisp. So while these are sauteing, let's turn that up. While these are sauteing, we also have a vegetarian/vegan option for the main. So I've got a whole roasted chicken, but I also am going to make some stuffed bell peppers. So these are some beautiful peppers that Sia brought us. Where do these come from?
Rideau Pines Farm.
Oh, I love Rideau Pines. They're fantastic.
Yes, and it's a nice family, and we love supporting them. You feel that personal touch because every time you place an order, it's with the farmer.
Absolutely, and like it's just a little short drive down the 416.
Exactly.
They even have a sign on the highway, so if you ever want to make a day trip out of it. I know earlier in the year they do strawberry picking and a lot of fun stuff like that. I love Rideau Pines. That's great. So we have some peppers from Rideau Pines that I cut in half and cleaned up really nicely, and then I had some cooked quinoa, which everything that we're showing here today can be bought at New Grocery except for the chicken. So the chicken comes from me, and then everything else comes from New Grocery. So at New Grocery, you bring your own containers. So everything there is in bulk. As little waste as possible. They try not to use plastic. We want to use glass, as most of recyclable, reusable stuff as possible. So the quinoa came in a little jar like this. I pre-cooked it. I like to cook my quinoa like rice, equal parts water and equal parts quinoa with a nice rinse before I cook it. Oh, that smell is just delicious. Then I added some dried cranberries and some chopped pecans. And to my trinity of vegetables here, which have flown over the sides of the frying pan, but that's okay. I want to add some aromatic herbs. My garden is in full bloom right now. We are at the end of summer in Canada, and so I have some beautiful sage that I'm going to add. I also have some fresh rosemary that I will pull off. I have some fresh thyme, which to me, I never used thyme growing up. It's not really an Italian herb. We use mostly oregano. But when I went to culinary school, I was introduced to thyme. So anytime I smell the thyme, it brings me right back to being in culinary school. It's just like the smell of memories. Isn't it interesting how certain smells can just bring you to certain moments in your life?
Yes, and the smell is wonderful. Oh.
Do you have any salt I can use over there?
Yes.
Would you sprinkle some salt onto my vegetables?
Just gonna use some.
Even salt, pepper, everything is available in bulk by weight.
All the pantry items that you might need, or might be looking for and find in conventional stores. We have everything, but everything's just in bulk.
Yeah, so and like your shampoo and the conditioner,
exactly.
You just have to bring your own container.
I always say, like, you can buy anything from ketchup to toothpaste.
Yeah.
And as long as you bring a container and it's clean, you can buy as little or as much as you want.
I love that.
The option of buying as little as you want is actually great for reducing food waste, right?
Absolutely.
Because you're not buying too much.
Yeah, like actually yesterday we were talking about the ingredients for the stuffing, and I was saying to her, let me bring the celery because I have some in my fridge. I don't want you to have to use a whole celery from the store. And she said, no, we sell the celery by the stalk.
Because who needs a full celery?
Yeah, I mean, okay? I can't tell you how much leftover celery I have from clients' houses and stuff like that. When you're making a certain set of meals, you can't buy half a celery. So I love that. Yes. New Grocery has been a pioneer in the Ottawa market in terms of not only bringing bulk and local food to the community, but you guys also are super innovative. You have all these really cool displays, the way that her dry goods are displayed on the wall, and the way it's not like that other store that we all know where it's all kind of really plasticky looking in bins. New Grocery, not only is it helpful for the environment and all that stuff, it's a beautiful store.
Thank you.
It's such a beautiful store. You guys have to go check it out.
We try to keep it everything open concept so we can see the customers and we can make that connection and build that community. Because if we have shelves just blocking our view, we cannot have a chat or
absolutely
connect with people.
And everyone that works at your store is also lives the philosophy, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, we're all about if you guys have seen my show before, you know that I'm all about no waste in terms of food, using the rind of the cheese, using every part of the animal, using everything, even eggshells. I'm crushing them up and putting them into my garden. My coffee grinds, I'm also reusing them and putting them into my potted plants throughout the winter to give them nutrients and stuff like that. We don't want to waste anything. But Sia is European as well, so she obviously grew up with some of those food philosophies coming from over there. Tell us a little bit about your story and why New Grocery became a thing, while you tell us what you're doing with the crumble at the same time.
Wow, okay, 2 stories in parallel.
2 stories in one.
So I've just layered my peaches and apricots, and I'm gonna crumble the crumble, although I want to call it crisp, apparently if you add oats and flour, it's called a crisp.
It's called a crisp.
And if it's just flour, it's a
It's a
crumble.
crumble, okay.
But I think people just use it interchangeably.
I mean, I use both words for the same thing all the time.
Yeah,
so
and if you pass me the butter, it has to be
Absolutely.
cold from the
I
fridge
have
so
some
we don't...
chilled butter here.
Yes, and we just need a half a cup.
I was just mixing some bouillon powder that they carry at New Grocery with some water to add to my vegetables here. I want to get them nice and moist so that I can add these little cubes of bread. They also sell locally baked artisan breads in the store, so that's what we use today. Always a stale next day bread is best for stuff like this.
Well,
but
if I may add, whenever we cannot sell fresh loaves, we actually freeze them and sell them at discount.
Nice.
And you can also buy half a loaf. So if you don't need a full loaf, we'll just cut it in half and you can buy half a loaf.
you can buy half a loaf of bread. How awesome is that? Okay, so you continue. Sorry.
So yeah, growing up, we had our own garden, just like you, and we are so used to preserving all the vegetables and fruit for the winter.
And where
because
was this?
Nothing, back in Siberia.
Yes.
So tough climate, and you have to be aware of everything that you're growing, and you need to preserve it for winter.
Right.
And you cannot just afford food waste. So
Exactly.
everything goes into something. And I think this philosophy followed me throughout life. And zero waste in this respect was very natural and organic for me.
Right.
But with the, pervasiveness of plastic
Right.
and convenience and, moving abroad, you kind of go a little bit astray. And then at some point I realized, nope, I want to live, according to my values and
Right.
just minimizing plastic in daily life. And it's not just about food waste, it's
In every
minimizing
part
the
of your
waste
life.
and-
Yeah, like
Exactly.
packaging when you're buying stuff at the
Personal
store,
care.
not getting plastic bags when you're shopping for clothing, paying attention to what your clothes are made out of, if they're synthetic materials or if they're natural,
Exactly.
stuff like that.
Exactly, and it simplifies life, and it's also healthier because plastic pollution is harmful for our bodies.
Yeah.
It's also obviously harmful for the environment. When we talk about our brand, we have these two colors, right?
Right.
We combine them in teal,
Yeah.
so it's green plus blue.
Mm-hmm.
And green stands for all the greenery and natural environment around us.
Right.
And blue stands for oceans and
And
lakes.
water and clean and, yeah.
The plastic pollutions in oceans just mind-boggling.
Absolutely. I mean, if anyone listens to, the news or radio or podcasts, I mean, there's been a lot of talk recently about microplastics and how, it's almost in everything we eat. So by minimizing the things that you buy and the foods you're consuming, not being in takeout containers, packaging your food in glass, not using plastic in your microwave, all of that kind of stuff can really help your exposure level to all of those things and, just keeps us a little bit healthier
Exactly.
and the planet too. So
Exactly, and microplastics is in our bodies, is in our brain. The other day we were talking about how we have enough microplastics in our brain
as
which
an
is
adult,
equivalent,
which is like a credit card or something like
equivalent to a plastic teaspoon.
that. Yeah, a plastic
So
teaspoon
we walk around with a plastic teaspoon in our brains.
of
So this is
plastic. And that's just in our
scary.
brain, never mind anywhere else. So,
Yes.
and the thing about supporting yourself while, trying to rid of these things is also, eating whole foods, eating close to nature, eating things that don't come from a factory, from my house, from my garden, from
farm.
Rito Pines,
Exactly.
real bread that has just 2 or 3 ingredients: flour, sourdough starter,
Water,
salt,
yeah.
water. All those kinds of things. So I've just stuffed my beautiful peppers. If you had some guests that were vegetarian but not vegan, adding some crumbled goat cheese to this
yes.
would be really lovely. But we're just gonna keep this vegan today because we have the chicken. The chicken's in the oven, and let me pull that out so that Sia can get her beautiful crumble in there.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, I just want to talk about the plums and Ooh,
apricots.
plums. Peaches and
And
apricots that I
apricots.
use today because they're not perfect and it's absolutely normal. We're so used to these cosmetic standards
Yes.
in supermarkets.
Yes.
So I just want to talk about these blemishes and beautiful, absolutely beautiful shades of different colors on apricots and
Yes.
peaches.
Yes.
And that's what we're using. They might be imperfectly looking, but they're perfectly delicious.
Absolutely.
And
That's
ripe.
actually how kind of we started together is when you had your first location of New Grocery. I would go, you know, every couple of weeks and create a soup or a meal in the Instant Pot or something out of all of the, I say
Imperfect?
sad, but imperfect vegetables
They're very happy.
that they didn't want to, you know, go to waste or discount. That's something that you can do, and actually you've seen me done before in my show is go to the store, buy a whole bunch of stuff that's 50% off or 30% off, and instead of it going to a landfill, make a fun meal out of it. So we've got the oven set at 375, is that right for your?
375
Yeah, for about 40 minutes, right? I'll get that in for us. We also have vegetables happening that are roasting, but so you guys can see, but Sia's going to cut some of them up and get it ready into a pan so that we can get that going on the break.
And I'm just going to grab a towel from you.
You
Thank
use that.
you.
And I poured the vegetables and broth in with my bread here, and you'll see it's getting nice and moist for me. I'm going to use, I think I put it right here. Oh. Cheers, everyone. I'm going to use this little casserole dish to get this in so that we can get this roasting. So stuffing is called stuffing because they used to put it into the carcass of the chicken or the turkey. I don't do that because if I have guests that don't eat animal products, I don't want them to be left out. But also it's actually a health and safety hazard because by the time the outside of the chicken is, or the turkey is cooked, the inside isn't. So if you want your stuffing to be cooked all the way through, then your chicken or your turkey is gonna end up dry because they won't cook at the same time. So by cooking it separately, not only does it allow the safety of the food, but it also allows you to cook it faster because the air actually will then get inside of the chicken.
Okay,
So
that's a good point.
Sia's going to mix some little baby potatoes.
Look how beautiful they
They're
are.
so beautiful. All the purple
I know,
inside.
it just gives it all the colors.
And some beautiful colored carrots
rainbow carrots.
and some local Brussels.
Yes, everything's
And
local.
some
everything's
shallots.
seasonal. Yeah.
And then you're going to coat it with olive oil, a little bit of maple syrup. We're going to add pecans and olive oil
And
salt
cranberries.
and cranberries.
And chili flakes.
And chili flakes. That's right. That's right. We're going to get this all baking on the break, and then we'll show it to you when we come back because we have like 5 things in line for the oven. So we'll see you after the break. So on the break, we baked as much as we could. We've got our beautiful chicken, our stuffed bell peppers, our crispy and savory stuffing, and Sia's beautiful roasted vegetables with all the beautiful seasonal colors and that crispy, crunchy, salty sweet with the cranberries and the maple syrup that you put on there.
Yes.
And right now in the oven we have this peach and apricot crisp that
I think
she's
it's
going
ready.
to pull out.
Whoops.
It's hot.
Oh, beautiful.
So beautiful. We're
Yeah.
gonna let that cool. And while that cools, I'm going to work on one last dish for our Friendsgiving feast. New Grocery is my favorite place to get tofu.
Yes.
And they carry a local tofu that's made right here in the Ottawa-Gatineau region. And I bring my own container whenever I go there and go up to the counter, and they give me a beautiful tofu already pressed and everything.
Yeah, and whether you want deep fried tofu or fresh tofu,
Yeah.
so it really makes them super well and delicious.
And
so it's
then
super fresh.
I crumbled it up and coated it with a little bit of cornstarch so that it can get nice and crispy. I tore it apart because I wanted like the most edges possible to get the crispiest possible. But I thought I would do a quick little lesson here. So a lot of
wanna
people
see your
think that they need a nonstick pan. But if you go to a restaurant, no one is cooking for you in a nonstick pan. So the trick is you want your pan to get up to a certain temperature so that your water dances. Do you see that? You see the little balls of water? They are dancing all over. That means that my pan is hot enough to cook nonstick. But I don't want to burn my food. So I'm going to turn this down so that it can reduce the heat to get to the temperature that I want. So while we're doing that, Sia's gonna help me make our gravy. So I've got this pan here that we used for the stuffing. So if you wanna add some butter in there and get it melting, like 2 little pads of butter in there, turn that up. Oh, it's melting right away, really nice. And
3 for good measure.
3 for good measure. And then I have some fresh sage from my garden that I just want to rip up into the butter.
Oh, and
It'll
oil
go
will extract all the
flavor. Excellent.
Beautiful.
And then just because we're on TV, we're going to pretend the butter is 100% melted. Just going to add a little spoon of flour right in there to create a roux. Okay, I feel like my pan might be, look at that little last piece of dancing water on my pan. So I bring my own containers to New to refill. So I actually brought this empty bottle of oil to refill with sunflower oil from her store. So I'm just going to use some sunflower oil there.
Perfect example of using what you have at home.
Yep, exactly. That's a little bit too hot, but that's okay. That is really hot, but that's okay. And look at this. Nothing is sticking. Nothing is sticking because the pan was brought up to the right temperature. You could fry an egg in here and it wouldn't even know.
Beautiful.
Perfect. Look at that. That's exactly what we want. We want the flour to kind of sizzle a little bit. I have a little bit more of that water with the bouillon. We'll mix that up. And then we will also add all the delicious juices left over from my chicken here. Thank you. Very unconventional, non-professional way of doing that. That's okay.
Very homely.
Yeah,
I'm
very
not a
homely.
professional cook, so
yeah, exactly.
we do it home style.
Exactly. Excellent. All right. So tell us a little bit about your store, the location. What's the address? The neighborhood, hours of operation.
Sounds good. We're in Old Ottawa East. It's a beautiful neighborhood. It's so close to the canal. You can go for a walk, enjoy the walk, and then stop by our store. It's 143 Main Street.
Main Street, yeah, that's right.
There.
Near St. Paul University.
And close to our friends at Green Door.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Happy Goat. And you don't always have to be prepared. Even if you don't have jars and containers from home, we have lots that you can either borrow, some jars to borrow, or paper bags. So you don't always have to be prepared.
Yeah, they have a really cool program where you can borrow jars, so other people will leave jars that they don't want or not use, and then
we
you
also have deposit system. So their jars you pay $1, and then when you bring it back, we give you $1 back. So it doesn't really cost you anything. It just makes it a bit more convenient if you're not prepared.
Exactly.
If you live further from Old Ottawa East, whether it's Orleans, Chelsea, or Canada, we deliver. So it's the only zero-waste grocery delivery here in Ottawa.
And only zero-waste grocery anyway, yeah.
So we'll pack whatever groceries you have.
I have some pepper.
And you just get a box.
And how do people order? Online on your website?
Yes, on our website, newgrocery.com.
NU. And can you tell us what the NU is for, or what the new?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a play of words because we're bilingual country. So new in English means
brand new
way of shopping, brand new. But in French, it means naked.
Yes.
And all our products are naked because they don't have any packaging.
Exactly.
So that's new. That's us.
I love it, I love it. So this is a crispy tofu I like to make. It's not very Thanksgiving-y, but I thought it would be a great dish to show, A, because it's fast, it's something that comes together really quickly, it's super high in protein, and everything we're using for it is local today. So I like to make this like sweet and spicy, crispy tofu. Sia's brought us some beautiful ingredients to go along with that. She's got some chili flakes, so add them in however spicy you think you want it.
Eager to sprinkle a lot. I like the spicy kick.
Me too. We like a little spicy kick. And then she's going to add salt. And all those little edges from ripping up the tofu, look how they get all nice and crispy. I love it. Okay, and then we're going to add honey. She's going to add a nice big drizzle of honey. Whose honey do you have here?
True Bee. It's
True
our
Bee.
friend from True Bee.
We love True Bee. Emily from True Bee has been one of my biggest supporters. I think I met you guys on the same day.
It was the
8
same
years
show,
ago.
supporting women and small business.
Absolutely.
And can I be generous?
Be
with
very
it?
generous with the honey. And yeah, like season 2 of my show, I did a whole episode on honey. So all the honey was from Emily. You can get her honey at New Grocery in jars like this, but then you also have it in bulk, right? Where people can refill.
For now, it's just these jars, and you can return the jars.
Oh, that's right.
So we reuse them. So anything from our suppliers is always reused. We don't recycle anything. Nothing goes to waste. And a lot of our suppliers, because they're so local, can take back all the jars.
So she takes back the old jars, refills them, and then brings them back nice and full.
So whether we reuse them or our suppliers use them, it's all circular economy.
Let's make a plate. We don't have a lot of time, and we have a couple things we still want to show. So Sia's going to make the sweet dessert plate by plating her beautiful apricot and peach crumble, whatever you want to call it today. And I'm going to plate a savory plate. So some veggies
look at this.
with the cranberries and the pecans and the spicy little pepper flakes, delicious. And some of my stuffing. Oh, that's hot. You can see the sage in there. And maybe a nice bell pepper.
Beautiful.
We'll turn off your gravy here. And what are you working on right now?
I'm just using our favorite organic coconut cream as our cream.
This is a local Canadian company. I believe
they're
they're out
based
of
in
Montreal. Yeah, and they make the cleanest canned coconut milk you can buy.
Yeah.
A lot of the coconut milks in a can you buy have gums and emulsifiers in them, but this is just coconut. It's such a great company.
And it's low waste, so it might not be reusable or returnable container, but it's fully recyclable.
Exactly, and it's BPA free inside, so it's all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So we're using that as our dairy-free whipped cream. And then I'm going to pour some gravy over top of my dish. And honestly, Sia, it's been such a pleasure having you. Everyone needs to go to Main Street to check out New Grocery. Go online. I'll tag all of the previous episodes in all seasons of my show that we've had you on. We did a black box episode last season, which was really cool. So here's a fork for you.
Thank you.
And here's a fork for me. And I know this looks beautiful and delicious, but I want to try this with you. Okay, let's get a little bite of this. We want a little bit of the crispy and a piece of the peach and a little bit of the whipped cream. Let's cheers.
Cheers.
To Friendsgiving. And to Friends Forever who support each other in small business. Thanks for coming, Sia.
Thank you for having me.